What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Investing Bros live show. It's going to be a great one. Not a whole heck of a lot of news. We're going to talk about a little bit that's there. Charts not necessarily doing anything ridiculously crazy, but we're going to cover that technical analysis anyway. But we will have a very interesting discussion here in just a couple of minutes about which of these four kind of large cap altcoins has the easiest route or most likely route to an 100x. And guess what? Well, I don't think every single one of them can do it. We're talking about Cardano. We're talking about Chainlink, Solana, XRP. Well, I don't think all four of them are going to end up doing it. There are two of them that I think there's actually not as hard of a route as many people think to getting that 100x, but you got to stick around to find out which one those are. But I am joined today by my amazing co-host, Mr. T-Shroom from down there in Gainesville, Florida. T-Shroom, how are we feeling today?
Tim, I'm feeling better than I deserve on this beautiful Monday morning. I had a lot of good time with my family over the weekend, so it was really good to be able to energize, coming in strong, and I'm ready to conquer the markets.
Tim, it's morning. It's morning for you?
It's more. Every day is a good day. Let's get to the quote here. Don't be normal. Be an example. That is from Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow, probably someone that you know of if you're a fan of sports.
Yeah.
What do you think of this quote here, Tim?
Did you say Mitt? Did you get a little dyslexic there with reading the name?
Mitt Weebot is Tim Tebow's name backwards.
It'd actually be Woe Beat or Bet. Woe Bet.
Weebot Mitt. Yeah.
No. See, even you're dyslexic while trying to be dyslexic. That's
exactly.
how you know you have it bad.
Here in the Investing Bros, we try to ignore the profound for the minimal and insignificant.
Don't be normal, be an example. I mean, how do you not love Tim Tebow? So that I think I have to love it just because I love him. He's got some good quotes out there. I don't know if I'm going to put this into his top 5, but I like it. I'll rock with it for the day. What does it mean to you, T-Shroom? Share your heart with us for a second while we give some time for more people to jump in here and talk some more crypto. What triggered your fancy about this quote?
I went back and forth and back and forth between this quote and a quote from Socrates, and it was just be normal, be an example. Be normal, be an example.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you got to go with don't be normal, be an example, because being normal won't get you very far, but being an example will help you exemplify to those who may strive to also be great and not be normal, to be able to pave the way so that when they go down that path to be great, they're going to follow in the footsteps of the decisions and the mold that you created, right?
Wow.
So you're not only being great, you're also helping those behind you that are yet to come and pursue greatness. You're helping form their greatness.
I have a trivia question for you, T-Shroom. You live in Gainesville, home of the Florida Gators, UF University. Who has more statues on UF campus, Socrates or Mitt Weebot?
That would have to go to Tim Tebow. Although there may be a statue or two of Socrates in the humanities.
There's not more than Tim Tebow. I think they actually have like 2 or 3. They had the one that everyone knows about, but there's others all hidden on the campus. So you got that trivia right, T-Shroom. And I didn't even have to use the elf for that trivia question.
Well, I know there's at least one statue of Tim Tebow, because that's the one that me and the rest of the congregation goes and worships in the morning. All right, so moving on into our charts.
Yeah.
May his name be praised. Tim.
Okay. Well, before we get too sacrilegious here on the Investing Bros show, let's talk crypto, guys. Let's talk crypto. We're going to do a little bit of I'm going to show you some very brief Bitcoin TA. We might touch back on this, but we're kind of continuing to trade sideways, guys. Guess what? We talked about it this morning in my morning TA video, but we got our golden cross. If you missed that video, make sure you go back and watch it. I laid some gems in case you guys are unfamiliar with golden crosses and death crosses. I kind of gave you a brief understanding of how those work. We took a look at some historical movements with those, but price continues to trade sideways. In fact, after rallying as high today as right about 34, almost to 900, we kind of stayed in the 34.8 range, almost making it to 34,900 twice. but rejected. We're coming back down now. There was one thing I did notice. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about the daily chart before hitting our overbought here after our big candles we had just about a week ago. Not quite a week ago, a little bit after a week ago, but today we got overbought. If we load here, come on now. Chart Prime, load for me. There we go. Our 2 dailies overbought, our 3 dailies overbought. And I told you guys it could get a little hairy if we continue to move to the upside. Well, guess what flashed today on Chart Prime? Guys, we do have an overbought on the Chart Prime oscillator on the 5 daily now. Now, we're still sitting here weekly. Weekly's not saying overbought necessarily from that perspective. There's other things on the weekly chart maybe splashing that we're a little higher than we should be right now. But 5 daily now squarely in the overbought category. This is a chart that you don't ignore these signals that often. I'm not saying every single one hits perfectly, but these are the ones that more often than not, when you get that overbought flash, you end up respecting it somewhat. So we're continuing to keep our eyes. That's the thing about the 5 daily chart, though. We could have another explosive rally up to 40K, and that stay right there, and then we reject at 40K and move to the downside. My point here is that we're starting to see the bearish signals catch up to the explosive bullish movements here on Bitcoin. We don't have any waves here on the 5 daily chart, but again, here when we go to lower ones, you guys can see on a lot of these charts, we are sitting squarely in the red, getting reversal flashes on these larger time frames. So continue to trade and think for yourself. Look at the charts. You know, anyone out there, I can guarantee you this right now. Anyone who is bearish can show you charts to show you why the price is about to go down. Anyone who's bullish can show you a reason why price will still go up. You've got to continue to think for yourself. Something T-Stream said this morning in the live stream, which I thought was phenomenal, is don't use us for financial advice. We're not financial advisors. We are just sitting here trading and figuring this out the same time as you guys. Now, we have our reasons for why we believe what we believe, but always keep thinking for yourself. Read the news for yourself. Watch the charts for yourself. Use influencers to get your creative juices flowing so that you can continue to educate yourself and come up with your own theories, your own understanding, your own trade setups. But hopefully we help you out more than we hurt you. That being said, we're still sitting, like I said, in a spot where, depending on what chart you're looking at, there's still some people holding out for a little bit of a bull flag going on here. That yes, we're trading sideways, but it's only a matter of time before we take this flagpole and we double it and send ourselves all the way up towards $39,000, maybe getting closer towards that 40K. But there's still that side of this that says, all right, well, we're trading sideways. Are we just repeating another Bart Simpson's pattern? You guys know what I think. You know what T-Shroom thinks. But what do you think? Go ahead and put that in the chat. T-Shroom, that's the Bitcoin TA for today. If someone else has more questions, we'll do more Bitcoin TA later. We got a lot to talk about. I want to start off by covering some news, just looking at the headlines. But after we do the headlines, we're going to get into a very interesting topic, and that is 4 of the larger cap altcoins in the space, 4 very popular coins even, with very growing and emphatic communities. We're going to sit here and examine the question, can any of them hit 100x in this bull market? And if so, which ones have the greatest chance? But first, before we do that, you guys go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe if this is your first time here. T-Shroom, are there any breaking headlines that we didn't cover this morning that we do need to address very quickly?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest headline that's going to affect markets is the following. Actually, this won't affect markets too much, but it's one to know about. U.S. Treasury Department Secretary says vast majority of terror group financing does not come from crypto. So if there was any money on the sidelines waiting for an issue that's been kind of tied up in the Senate around kind of putting some more restrictions on crypto in the United States, this is definitely a discovery that is good. It's welcome, and it's coming from the highest, cabinets of government here, of the U.S. government, U.S. Treasury. So that's actually Janet Yellen's office. So very good, kind of bullish news.
I'm not that shocked by it, though. I mean, I think we all knew that cryptocurrency is not the preferred form of currency for terrorist organizations. That would be the U.S. dollar.
Right. Shouldn't be news to the crypto educated, but it is going to be news to a lot of regulators and legislators in North America and around the world. So something to pay attention to. And again, it may move the markets if there's been money on the sidelines waiting for confirmation of this. Terrorism is a big issue right now. So it's possible. I wouldn't count on it, though. Wouldn't be betting on that narrative specifically. This one's a little bit of fun. Okay, Saudi Arabia's future city Nome will invest 50 million in metaverse giant Animenko, and this is their website here. It doesn't appear that they have this token themselves. They might, but I haven't been able to find that. But these guys just got a big tap for one of the world's biggest land projects going on, which is pretty exciting. If you don't know about that, check it out on YouTube. There's all kinds of great content about this city that's being built in Saudi Arabia called Nome. Very fun stuff. All right, more news here. XRP faces a big obstacle after whales begin sell-offs. So this one's a little bit more pessimistic, but hey, it's important to read the good, the bad, and the ugly. At press time, XRP exchanged hands at 55 cents. However, there could be some concerns as regards the XRP price action. On October 29th, whale tracking platform Whale Alert revealed that XRP worth $14.82. I'm sorry, worth 14 million was transferred into Bitstamp exchange. So as that much was transferred to an unknown wallet in Bitstamp. When a large transfer like this occurs, it's a sign of a notable sell-off. The selling pressure was evident in the XRP to USD 4-hour chart as the price trended downwards. However, XRP showed strength as the token resisted a surge, a sharp plunge. So that's pretty important there. And we'll be looking at the TA much more to be able to kind of get our heads around what this could mean. But the market's looking a little shaky there over in XRP. As it fights, does everything it can to get back up above 55 cents. Thailand's second largest bank acquires local crypto exchange. So this is a pretty big headline. If you're watching from Asia, you may have heard of this bank, Capricorn Bank. It's announced that it is acquiring 97% of the shares in a local crypto exchange through a subsidiary. Indeed, a letter filed today shows that K-Bank acquisition, which is set to diversify its offerings and grow its crypto business. So that's really good for crypto folks over in Thailand, looking like they're going to be able to get some buy-in there from their regulators and from their financial institutions. Finally, there was Gary Gensler, Bitcoin ETF position inconsistent, says Gary Gensler. Now you may have seen this kind of circulating around the headlines. I listened to this entire interview. It was from 2019. You know how these videos surface of Gary Gensler back in the day, these Gary throwbacks, the Gensler throwbacks. They're a lot of fun if you have the time to go listen to him and kind of see how his position has evolved. But he does say this, which can lead you to some pretty bullish conclusions. He does say that the ETF position is inconsistent, speaking of how the CFTC and the SEC have basically landed on the fact that that futures ETFs can go live, can be accepted, the application, but the spot ETFs can't be. So he seems to be contradicting his future self. But the reality is this is a very experimental conversation. If you listen to it, these two individuals, Hester Pierce and Gary Gensler, they're kind of going back and forth and kind of like how we do sometimes here. They're kind of speculating on the ways that regulators could move in the future. And Gary wasn't even part of the SEC during this interview. So it's, obviously things change when you actually have those responsibilities, the way that you would perceive the markets and things like that. So I wouldn't be buying based on this. I think this is a FOMO headline, and until we have actual confirmation of an application approval of these spot ETFs, I'm not trading on the ETF story.
I can just go ahead and tell you right now, anything that Gary Gensler has said in any time past, you should not use it for anything in the future. That man changes his mind on cryptocurrency more than a lot of different things. I guess I didn't even think of a good example. More than, let's see, he changed his mind on crypto more than Brody fills diapers on a regular day. By the way, Brody is on average filling like 10 different diapers a day.
Are you serious? What are you feeding this boy?
The dude, straight up milk, and he knows what to do with that milk and run it through his system. I'll tell you what.
I like it.
And I'll tell you what he puts in that diaper is about the same style of opinion that I give Gary Gensler.
Don't do it.
All this takes. Anyway.
Crypto Archie in the chat helping us change the subject. Archie? What up, Archie?
I put a poll in chat. I know Army Piper came in after he heard my sentence. He said Caspa. Here's the thing, guys. Caspa, Caspa is a coin that probably is going to 100x. It doesn't count though, Piper, because that's a small cap. I mean, it's actually kind of crossed into, you could kind of call it a medium cap. I don't know. It's got over $1 billion now in the market cap, but it's been on a tear recently. We're not talking about small caps here, intermediate caps. We're talking about some large caps, Piper
The big boys.
and everybody else. I put the poll in chat right now. The four we're going to be looking at here: ADA, Solana, XRP, and Chainlink. Now, what I'm seeing right now, ADA is leading the way, 45%, fluctuating between 45 and 47 right now. ADA, 47% saying that it is the one. Solana, 24%. XRP, 21%. Chainlink, only 9%. Not getting the love for Chainlink. And I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to tell you which one in my personal opinion, and my personal opinion is going to be based off of the charts in reality. I have some thoughts as far as how the fundamental goes and what things are going to be adopted and how it's going to work. But just from the charts alone, there's one here that is clearly in charge and lead. And there's two that I think have legitimate shots at doing 100Xs. Now, I will have to say, and this might change some of your guys' perspective, what we're going to be looking at, because whenever we do, let's talk about Cardano. Let's go to my screen here. Some of you guys know I had a tweet that I was going to say, dare I say viral, but it went viral. It went so viral, I had, I think, 4 or 5 different articles written about this tweet. So I think that's safe to say that this is a viral tweet, in which case I talk about the explosiveness of Cardano's last cycle. Let me go to log chart so it makes it a little easier.
Rhino Nachos is asking a good question.
Okay.
Really quick. So we're saying 100x from current prices or bear market low. You want to clarify for that?
We're gonna go bear market low, and here's why. Is because that tweet that I put out, I talked about how we dropped by 98%, technically 98.6% over the bear market. Now, what I'm measuring is the top of Cardano's all-time high back in January of 18, and then I went to the very, very low all the way back to March of 2020. Now, of course, COVID was heavily involved there, but that was the lowest that Cardano price got. Technically speaking, there were people who were buying Cardano at 1.8 cents, and then it would go on in the bull market. And this was the way the tweet got a little bit, people a little bit misunderstood, but it went ahead and rallied about 165x. That's 16,500%. People made a lot of money, right? 165x. People weren't measuring where it was coming from back in June of 2020. They weren't measuring where it was coming from September. Everyone took a look at where was the lowest Cardano got and what was the highest it got to. Well, in the same breath, in the same logic, we got to compare what is the lowest these coins have gotten and what is the highest. So if you guys want, if you voted in poll, I'll let you redo your poll. Go ahead and comment in the chat. Solana, XRP, Cardano, Chainlink. When we take bottoms of bear markets to potential tops of bull markets, which of these coins has the greatest potential to hit 100x? Here's the thing. There's a chance that none of them do. There's a chance that they all fall short. But I do feel strongly that 2 of them have a very real scenario, and technically all 4 of them could, although that's a little less likely. And I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know the first one that I think is probably, at least from the charts perspective, the least likely to 100x. And we're not going to have to change the screen for that. You guys know I love Cardano. I'm a big Cardano fan, but ladies and gentlemen, of the 4 that we are looking at here, I'm not going to say that it is impossible, but I am going to say that it's unlikely that Cardano 100x's. Why is that? I'm even going to give it a generous, even though the 24-cent range has been very, very strong support, let's give it the wick that we wicked all the way down to below 22 cents to around 21.5 cents. If I were to go ahead and grab my measuring tool here, go up, we're looking for a 10,000% increase. So I got to keep climbing. We're going to come all the way up here to about $21.96. Let's just go ahead and kind of round it to a clean number. We would need Cardano to get up to $22. I don't know if I said cents there, but I think I said $21.96. To 100x from the bottom of Cardano's current place. Now, you guys know there's still a chance that Cardano gets down to 18 cents. That could change things. In case if I were to change that here just a little bit, let me go ahead and just move the whole thing. 18 cents would mean we'd only need about an $18 Cardano. If we were to drop down to 14, if I keep scrolling here, it depends on how bearish we get here. But if I will get to 14 or 13 cents, now we only need like a $13 Cardano. That might be doable. But for the time being, we kind of have to operate with this system that is reality. We might not go lower than the 21.5 cents that we went to back here in June of 2023. To get an 100x, we would need to cross the $20 range, getting up closer to that 22. From where we currently are, that would be about a 73x. Not necessarily that likely. This also, ladies and gentlemen, if we were to go over and look at the coin market cap, we look at where we currently are. We're just going to even assume, hey, we're not going to take crazy account into extra supply. Let's say the supply were to stay exactly where it was today. And I know that tokenomics plays a big role in here, but that would take way too long to go into the details of the tokenomics of all four of these coins. It is going to be one reason. There's another coin on here that the tokenomics are so confusing. I do give it a little bit less of a probability of hitting 100x. I'll talk about that here in a second. But current market cap is sitting at about $10.5 billion. So 10.5 times 73. We're going to need a $766 billion market cap for Cardano. Is it possible, T-Shroom? Yeah, it's possible. But is it likely? I think it's a little too soon. A little too soon for this bull market to get quite that high. I have Cardano. Again, you guys know I'm probably one of the more bullish people on Cardano, but I'm looking on the bullish scenario around $10, give or take. Let's drop this just a little bit more. That's about a 31x from where we currently are. Still very, very, very bullish. But I do not believe that Cardano is the one that is most likely to go ahead and go up. Before I move on, T-Shroom, do you agree? What are your thoughts about Cardano as a whole and the chances of it?
Cardano? I mean, look, Cardano is one that could come from behind, right? It could kind of wait and, kind of be one of the later waves of the altcoin season. I could easily see that happening. I think that a lot of the folks that are in Cardano real heavy, a lot of them are already close to 90% deployed their capital, right? They're in it. Cardano makes it very simple and easy to get involved. It's very cheap to buy NFTs and get involved in the actual ecosystem and have fun, which is one of its strengths. Definitely one of its strengths, but that also means that the retail market and maybe even some of the institutional market to be on the buy side of Cardano is already in. Right now, there's going to be loads and loads of new retail and investment investor side investors that are going to come in and look at Cardano and like it and buy it, right? And that's why we're talking about any kind of X for Cardano. But the reality is that a lot of the folks who are fans of Solana or Chainlink, they're maybe a little bit less deployed, if that makes sense. So that's one of the takes you could have on that.
I agree. Well, let's do this. Let's move to the second one, guys. So you guys know, I'm not even saying necessarily Cardano's in fourth place. I kind of hold Cardano and this other one kind of tied for third place in probability, and I'll explain why. The other one that I do not think, of the four that are in the poll, that I think will struggle to get close to 100x would be XRP. XRP, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at what an 100x would be. But of course, we're going to be going down to the bottom of... Now, this is what's kind of crazy. Technically speaking, you could go even crazier way down here. I'm going to go to June of 2022. We're going to go to the bottom of the XRP price. For us to get, I'm going to have to spread this out because it's going to be way up high here. For us to get an 100x from the bottom of XRP, so those of you who bought XRP way back here in June of 2022, you bought the best price in this bear market. For you to 100x, we're going to need the price to go roughly right here to about $29. Oh, it went away with me. Sorry about that, everybody. Did not click it a second time. Come on now. Let's get clean. There we go. $29, give or take. We're just going to go ahead and leave it $29. Let's keep it clean. Now, this is another one. Now, we're not as close to that bottom as Cardano. So technically speaking, if you buy right now, it is an easier route to success. We would need a 48x to get up here to this 100x. Here's the problem. And then I told you guys, I'm not going to get into the details of tokenomics because it gets really complicated. We'd have to spend a lot more time here. But of the four of these that have the most confusing and complex tokenomics, XRP is going to take the cake on that one. In fact, there's lots of things that could happen with XRP that either make its supply not grow very much in the next 2 years or grow immensely. So very hard to predict. I lean towards the side of they're going to print more supply or put out more supply, put out more into circulating supply than these others. But even more so, again, is it easier than Cardano from the charts perspective? Yes, it would be easier. And yes, XRP, some people label it a banker's coin, like that's a bad thing. But in reality, in a world where the banks are having many, many problems, a coin that helps make banks stay around and do, their job and continue to transact money, that's attractive. That's attractive to a lot of people. So XRP is absolutely one that I still feel bullish on long term. $28 is $29, give or take, little rich for me. I'm kind of sitting in the area, guys, for XRP. I'm looking around that $10 is more of my bearish. That's about a 17x. I'm kind of watching for $14, $15. Let's call it $15. 25x on XRP is kind of where I'm putting my money at this time. From that low, if you had bought that, you're still looking at a good 52x. So all of you who bought back here in June of 2022, gonna make some money on XRP if I'm right about that price prediction getting up to about $15. However, that's not an 100x. Sorry, it's just not going to be the case. I don't know if that surprised anyone either. I don't know if a lot of people, even though the poll said XRP, we had XRP at 22%, technically higher than Solana and Chainlink, but that means the two highest voted ones, ADA and XRP, are the ones that I'm thinking had the least chance of an 100x happening. T-Shroom. Before I move on, do you agree with that assessment? Do you think I should put XRP a little higher on this list for likelihood, or do you agree with it kind of sitting there as a tied for third place, if not alone, a little bit above ADA?
Now, I would put XRP below ADA.
You would? Okay. So you would say ADA 3, XRP 4, or would you put, we'll get to the others here in just a second, but.
I would.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Fair assessment. Again, is it possible to go to 100x? Yeah, it's possible. We could see a $29 or $30 XRP if a boatload of money comes in. I think we're talking about $1.5 trillion would have to be the market cap for that to happen. But is it possible? Absolutely it is. Let's take a look at my next one. And of course, we're down to 2. So when I show you what I'm putting in second place, you're automatically going to know what is first. But this one I'm going to put in second place. That is Chainlink.
Nice.
So, of course, Solana is going to be my number 1. But let's start by kind of breaking down Chainlink. Why is it? Well, first of all, Chainlink came down here bottoming out back in May of 2022, but traded sideways this whole time. And I told you guys that this has happened on Chainlink before, where they set themselves a little bit of a channel, and then once they break out of that channel, we might kind of hover around the resistance level for a while as support, but then things can get very explosive. This is exactly what happened in Chainlink over the last year and some change here. Now, 100x, of course, we're talking about bottoms. Those of you who bought back in early June of 2023, for you to 100x, and I told you guys there's 2 of them. I think that Solana is more likely, but I could definitely see Chainlink 100xing if everything goes correctly. That would send the price all the way up to $481 from where we are right now. That would be an increase. So let's say you bought right now, which I think there's a price you can buy a little bit lower than here, but that would be a 41x for Chainlink. Very, very bullish. I think this would actually, the other thing that gives Chainlink an advantage, right, and why it might be more likely than XRP and Cardano, is even just coming over here and looking at the current market cap is only $6 billion. It's sitting at number 12. Now, yes, Cardano's sitting at 8. That's not necessarily, it's only 4 spots higher, but 6 trillion versus 10.5 trillion. It's not quite double, but it's getting close there. Like a 2x for Chainlink wouldn't even put it all the way up to where Solana is right now. So that's one of the advantages of Chainlink potentially hitting that 100x from the June all the way back in 2023 is the price is just lower. The things are just lower. And Chainlink is another one of those that is not just getting attention from the crypto community, but institutional investors are looking very heavily at Chainlink, and it solves some other things in the banking world. It's just going to have a small amount of competition with XRP, but it's not even necessarily the main competition XRP. That would be XLM. Chainlink has its own type of stuff going on that the institutions love it, and I absolutely could see price coming up here towards 486. Now, I haven't done too much analysis like this. Of the 4 of them, this is probably the one I spent the least amount of times giving a price prediction. I think potentially you're looking, more realistically somewhere closer down here towards 200, 240, a 20x to 30x range. Again, 200, 400. I know there's a big range right there, but this is a coin that has a lot of potential and also could disappoint. But I do put it as my second most likely coin to get up here above 481 to make a move in 100x, especially if the institutions use it as heavily as there have been some rumors that they will. Now, T-Shroom, before we move on to Solana and we talk about that chart, thoughts about Link. Where did you have Link rated for your, of that 4? Where do you have it rated?
Let's see. If that one's one that I'm a little less sure. Solana and Chainlink. I mean, Solana has just outperformed. It's been a lot stronger than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
6 months ago. But ever since you've got on board, and I've seen the Solana train, and I've seen a lot of other really smart people get on there as well. It's convincing. I still haven't picked any up because I feel like we're going to have a pullback where I can buy it cheaper.
Yeah.
So, there's that. I don't hold it, but I hold a lot of Chainlink. So I'd have to say I see Chainlink is doing a lot better because there's a chance that Solana has something go wrong, right? And then it totally misses out. But
yeah,
we'll see. I think Chainlink is going to do really, really well, and we've seen it do really, really well in the past. So, that's where I would place my chips on Chainlink. But it's like Solana, if they can keep it together and really showcase that they've improved their blockchain and it's much more robust and even more decentralized, if they could showcase that, because I believe it has become more decentralized, I think that would go a long way to occurring in some investment.
Yeah, the last bull market, by the way, guys, went up 450x. So we're more than, even for that 100x, we're cutting that in less than a quarter to ask for 100x from the bottom. Does that mean it's absolute? No. But again, with a couple different factors here, it probably, again, I'm going to put it second most likely. It does have that possibility to go up, especially, again, when we're talking about going from the bottom, not going from current price. I don't think any of the 4 of these are going 100x's from where they currently are in price. But again, when we go back here in 3, 4, 5 years and we're doing back analysis on these coins, we're not going to measure from October 30th, 2023. That's a midway point on a level up. We're going to go back to bottoms and we're going to compare these and we're going to say, hey, did Chainlink do an 100x? We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. You have to get up above 400, pushing closer to 500, around 480, give or take. Mm-hmm. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that takes us to what I think could be the most likely. Again, there's not a sure thing. I'm not making the prediction I think it absolutely will, but I do think it's very interesting. And I can tell you right now, guys, the main reason why Solana should be the one leading this is because when we go to its bottom back here in December of 2022, you have to remember this coin was dead. After the FTX shabacle that happened in November and prices were hovering around $31, we crashed all the way down to $8. So you got a little bit of a cheat code here with Solana. It was supposed to die. It was supposed to go down with FTX, and yet it has made a comeback, and they're gaining their investors. They're gaining in developers. It's the most liked, most talked about altcoin right now, according to certain ratings. And again, those can be kind of fluctuating here and there. You might not agree with them, but that's the word on the street is that Solana is the most exciting altcoin in the space right now. On 100x from that $8 that we had all the way back in December of 2022, that would put us all the way up here. Oh, I went way too high. We have to come all the way down. We're talking about, and you guys can even see it's not necessarily crazy amount higher on the log scale than what we had back here. We made it all the way up to 266, but when you're scaling it like this, we need the Solana price to get up to $800 per coin. That's about a 4x from that previous all-time high, but very, very doable. Again, I would venture to say the most doable of the 4 we're talking about. The other reason why that might be one of the easier cases is because from where we are right now, we're only asking for about a 20x. Technically a little bit more. We're looking for a 21.8. Let's just go ahead and round it up to 22. But the others, Cardano, we need 73x. I don't think we're going to see a 73x on Cardano. We need about 45 to 50 on XRP and Chainlink. Is it doable for Chainlink? I think so, but less likely than Solana. We only need a 20x from where we currently are. And institutions are just getting warmed up with their investments into cryptocurrency. I have all 4 of these coins doing 20x's in the future. So this is one that I think Solana absolutely, if it continues to build on its hype, if it continues to build its community, continues to get the investments, continues to build the collaborations and the adoptions that they have with different companies, a 22x for Solana from here on out, that's not an outrageous prediction or ask. That is what gives us the most likely scenario. And then you kind of go back to it. Again, there's going to be more tokens printed, so this isn't perfect, but we're sitting right now at 14 trillion. 20x, guys, we're only asking for Solana's market cap to get somewhere in the mid $300 billion range. absolutely doable in this bull market where I think more than $11 trillion is coming into crypto as a whole. I think Solana can solidify itself as not only a top 10, I think we're talking about top 5, borderline top 3, depending on how well it does. I think Cardano, Solana are going to kind of be wrestling for that second and third place with XRP as well. But I think that it's not crazy to think that that Solana could get a $300 billion market cap. T-Shroom, am I crazy? Am I nuts? What are your thoughts about Solana?
I don't think you're crazy, but I do think you're nuts.
Yeah, I agree. That was easy, low hanging fruit, or for that analogy.
Low hanging nuts. Yeah. So I think
Low
that
hanging nuts.
ultimately here, I to be honest with you, I agree with your ranking here. So it's starting from the bottom, XRP,
No,
ADA,
I think you and I switched. Like I kind of had ADA and XRP tied, but
which
I
is
gave
weak,
XRP
which
an
is
edge.
weak, which is weak.
Yeah.
So you need to make a decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put. I said if you have to choose, I put ADA number 4, but that's also because ADA.
Okay.
Again,
So
when you factor in a lot of different things, it would be the hardest for it to do it because it's had the least amount of bullishness up to this point. It would have to be from now. I think of the 4, it could be the most bullish, but again, we're talking about the difference between Solana needs a 20x, Chainlink and XRP need a 40x, Cardano needs a 73x. Yeah, I could see Cardano best case scenario doing a 50x from here in my mind.
Okay. It's good. It's good reasoning. It's good reasoning, but I want to leave XRP in 4th, which is silly because I have a lot of not a lot, but I have a decent amount of XRP. I have no Solana, but I do still think that with the way that Solana's been performing, what it signals to me is that they're having conversations with people with money. People with money are talking about Solana. We hear about it every now and then, kind of in the YouTube space. We hear about XRP quite a bit because of how it's touched the legal framework, right, and the precedent for altcoins. But at the end of the day, like, are they really closing deals, right? Are they making deals in boardrooms? Are they actually getting family offices convinced? Are they getting pension funds at all interested and excited? I don't know. But it seems like Solana is making a lot of those types of things happen. Whether they publicize it or whether it's kind of behind the scenes stuff, it's reflected in their price. I wish I could have gotten into Solana. I feel good about the reasons I didn't, but when it corrects, that's definitely going to be one of the coins I'm scooping up. So other than ADA and XRP, I do think that it's then Solana second, and then Chainlink up top with the most likely to reach that 100x. But what I would say is I don't think any of these coins are going to hit that 100x. I think probably 70x will probably be the upside for one of these 4, but 100x, I just don't see that happening in this cycle. I just don't.
Well, again, the reason why I do see it happening for Solana, remember, I hope people aren't looking at this and saying, "Oh, is Tim saying that he's the most bullish on Solana? Is Tim saying his largest bag is being Solana?" This rating was not the order of which I'm holding the most amount of coins. In fact, you almost could probably flip it and to say which coins from here on out will have the greatest rallies in the bull market. Now I'm putting Cardano probably number 1. I'm putting XRP around number 2, Chainlink number 3, and Solana number 4. Why? Well, Solana got such a boost in this rating of could it 100x because again it died in November and December of 2022. It was supposed to be in the grave 6 feet deep, gone for forever. So there were a couple of suckers out there who said, "Oh, an $8 Solana? Yeah, I'll buy an $8 Solana just in case it comes back to life." And lo and behold, that's exactly what it's done. And now we just need a 20x for it. We just need a 20x, and it gets to 100x. That's not asking that much. I think all 4 of these coins are at least. I think they're at least going to get very, very close to a 20x, if not surpass all of them. But the others, again, we're talking about 40x. Cardano 73x. I just don't see those going that high. But I am very bullish on all 4 of these. These are all 4 in my portfolio, just not in the order I just said with their chances of being 100x.
Absolutely. Well, as we've been speaking, the chat poll has kind of evolved here. So which coin is most likely to hit 100x in the bull market here? Is it ADA, Solana, XRP, Link? And the answer seems to be ADA. However, XRP has pulled away from the next 3. Now, ADA, you have to realize with our community, there's a ton of ADA supporters, which are welcome. We at the end of the day, we like ADA.
Yeah.
I'm heavily exposed to ADA, and I've even dabbled in some of the ADA ecosystem. But I still stick to my guns. I think ADA only has, it's in third place in terms of the. So I disagree with the poll here, but yeah.
But again, here's the thing. Again, we've referenced 100x. If we couldn't have 100x, we're just asking. I just gave my ranking. My ranking from right here, right now. I think Cardano will be top performer. I'll go with XRP at number 2, but right behind it, Chainlink, and last place Solana. That for me is from here. If I have to buy all 4 of them today, and I go back and look at my portfolio, like if I put $1,000 in all four of those, I think I'll have the most Cardano here at the bull market. I think XRP probably second amount, then Chainlink third, and Solana fourth. Do you agree with that order?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting that so much changes when you modify the question a little bit.
It does. It is a complicated question that has, it depends on what you're asking the bottom to be. If we said the bottom was where we are right now, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I mean, I'd have to recalibrate my thinking on that a little bit, but do you want to go to the chat? Because they're very vocal right now.
Well, I saw Dave Digital. Dave Digital says, "Dang it, Tim! I sold my grandma's kidneys and bought Solana because you said." So I'm sorry.
Hopefully, she was an organ donor.
Yeah.
This is why we okay. Web3 and me said Solana in high cap is a high cap, and 100x will take some years. Go with Sol projects then, right? Faden, what do you like? I like. Oh man, this was not the. You said a better thing up here. Web3 me. Sorry. I read the, okay. XRP, not an ecosystem. A banker coin. ADA equals old crypto bros long-term stake coin. SOL, getting that crypto bro effect. Okay. So it sounds like what he's saying is maybe a lot of the crypto bros are kind of jumping ship on ADA and going to Solana. I think you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that statement. But guess what, Chris? You could make the argument, though, because Cardano hadn't developed. Like, I'm such a big believer in what Charles Hoskinson and IOHK is building with Cardano. But let's not kid ourselves. They rallied over $3 and had the largest rally of top 100 coins in 2021 solely based off of hype, solely based off of crypto bros, right? So to say that Solana is the crypto bro coin right now, while it's a little bit, I think, insulting to the Solana holders, it doesn't defeat the argument that they can have a massive rally. Crypto bros can pump some coins. I saw someone else in here asked, why didn't you compare Doge? Well, Doge is really hard to take a look at. At 100x on Doge, let's go to the bottom. I guess I went from the current price. Let's go to the bottom here. 100x on Doge would put us at $4.88. And I don't mean, I plan on holding Doge, right? So I'm not trying to be insulting them. Let's worry about the $1 thing. When you're talking about a meme coin, until we officially see Elon Musk implement Dogecoin as the coin that you use on X, Doge is a meme coin. It's the most popular meme coin, but it hasn't even surpassed $1, and we're talking about pushing towards $5 to get an 100x. Let's watch what happens when, I do think Doge will hit $1. Let's watch what happens if there's a max sell-off, simply because the whole meme of Dogecoin was that it would eventually get to $1. It got close, but it didn't get there. Watch there be a massive sell-off when it actually does that. If we see Elon actually go follow through on what he said and make it the official coin of X, hey, $4, $5, we'll talk about it then. That's doable. But at this point, Elon's also been known to tease and then not. Like, he's teased it as a joke. He knows it's a joke. Is he going to follow through? I don't know. The minute we get more clarity on that, my opinion will become more formed. But with the information I have right now, am not expecting a $5 or even close to a $5. I think if we get it to $1, maybe we make a push a little higher, but I don't even see a $2 for Dogecoin, if I'm being very real, unless something solidifies with Elon's use case for it. Red Elephant said he'll call Elon tonight. You do that, Red Elephant. That would be awesome. And then tell me, and then I'll buy some to pump my bags. Let's see. There's another question on here. A lot of people, I think, agree. They might not agree with everything I just said right there, but a lot of people, even though we have a great Cardano community here, you guys know Cardano is my second largest bag to Bitcoin. We love it, but I think we all understand the logic. Yeah, 100x probably not happening, says Fade and TradFi. No VCs or big money, which is a benefit, but for the gains, except for the gains in the fourth. And guess what? I do think that money is coming into Cardano. I think it'll start with retail investing, and I think that institutions will, in flows and in different waves, kind of get involved with Cardano.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think it is going to be one of the slower ones to do that. I think that it could still remain a top 5 coin with being a retail investor's coin. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Watch as the money flows into Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana and others, and people are getting wealthy with cryptocurrency, but they wake up to the concept of, you know what, we have a golden opportunity here to have decentralized finance for the first time, really, the world has ever seen. And what is the most decentralized cryptocurrency? Or at least altcoin, because you can make an argument Bitcoin probably is the most. I think Cardano fits that bill. In fact, let me know if you guys think there's one better. But to me, what I have seen, there's no coin more decentralized than Cardano. And I think that people, retail investors, will appreciate that, and those numbers will grow. And I don't think they need the trillions of dollars of institutional money. They'll get trillions of dollars of retail money based off of the wealth that retail investors make in Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana, and then they move it over to the real decentralized currency, Cardano. And then next bull market, we're talking about 2029. Watch Cardano potentially give Ethereum a run for its money. It's too early to call that for certain, but I think things could get interesting in the world of cryptocurrency and decentralized finance in the year 2029, and Cardano is going to make things very fun. Fade and TradFi says Caspa. I think it's a little too early to say that Caspa is more decentralized. I like Caspa. Caspa is going to be a large bag for me as well, but I think it's a little too early to say that they're better than Cardano with that.
Fade and TradFi, that did occur to me. It did cross my mind when Tim said that. I said, well, maybe Caspa. Obviously, Bitcoin is, but you could make the argument Caspa is as well. But I think you're right, Tim. I think what Caspa's biggest weakness is that it's super young, right? I think it was launched in 2001. I'm sorry, 2021, and so it's untested in the way that Ethereum, Bitcoin, Cardano are tested. So, I think it's obviously has legs. And I mean, I could go on and on about how bullish I am on Caspa, but the end of the day, it is young, right? It is unproven. And if it starts to have some of those same stumblings that Solana had, then you could have some issues with it. But, that's neither here nor there. Smash the likes, everyone, said Gia S. And I disagree with that. I think that smashing the likes, it's something that no, I'm just kidding. You absolutely should smash the likes. We'd really appreciate it. And let's get into the factoid. And then I've got a head scratcher for us that we covered this morning. I want to get your take on it, Tim. So who? What am I, an owl?
Yeah.
Who said it? We've got this is
a different one.
A new trivia vertical. Okay.
Yeah.
This is an alt trivia. Okay, here we go. Factoid Elf spent a lot of time making this one. So who said it? Who said it, Tim? In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence. Whew. Somebody with some eloquence, okay?
Yeah.
Whether sought or unsought by the military-industrial complex, the potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. I'm not going to read it again because it was super long. But who said that, Tim?
Yeah.
Who said it?
This is definitely older speech, so I'm going to go ahead and limit it down to A or B.
Okay.
That's not how Trump speaks. So to me, I put the chances of it being Donald Trump below Mussolini. He just has a different way of talking.
Okay.
By the way, welcome Ron Wilson to Silver. Thank you so much. Speaking of,
hey, there you go.
Remember, guys, tomorrow we're not having a 3 p.m. live show for normal YouTube. We have our members only here on YouTube for Silver and Gold members. So Ron Wilson get to join that tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll still have our morning content for everybody else, but Tuesdays and Thursdays, those are bro times now. So make sure you guys are members. Let's go back. I gotta look at this again. I haven't narrowed it down yet. It doesn't really sound like how Barack speaks either. So, also the way it even is constructed to me sounds like an older. People spoke so much more eloquently like 30, 40, 50 years ago than they do now.
Yeah. Well,
social media, I think, has killed us.
GS said A. Red Elephant said A. David William
It,
said B,
yeah,
and IMJ said A. David Digital said Eisenhower.
yeah. The fact that it's even military industrial complex, I tend to think that this is Eisenhower. Eisenhower, of course, was a general before being president. I think this is how he would have spoken. I'm going to say A. It's Dwight Eisenhower,
You're going to go with A?
our our baldest president
Okay.
ever,
Okay. Until I
and
run.
that's why he was a good one. Because the more bald, the
That's
better.
right. That's right. All right, Tim. Well, we'll come back to this, and we will discover what the answer to this factoid is.
Yeah,
It could be Trump. It could be Obama, a surprise from behind. It
yeah.
could be Benito Mussolini. Who
No.
knows? But Tim and much of the chat believe that it is A. We will come back and we will find out here in just a few minutes. Tim, there's been an executive order signed by Biden. He's issued the first AI executive order requiring safety assessments, civil rights guidance, and research on labor market impact. We talked about this at length this morning. Did you get a chance to hear that part? It's
No, I
okay.
didn't. I
It's okay
haven't
if
been
you
able to
didn't.
watch the live stream this morning, but I plan on going back tonight to watch it.
No worries. And so should you. All right. But let's take a look here at the kind of the bullet points from this executive order.
Yeah.
Just set the scene here super fast. Okay. AI, it's all over the place. People are excited about it. All right. You've got AI coming in. It's coming in through the woodwork, right? It's right. But there's a lot of folks that are a little bit worried about it,
Yeah.
especially those who've created it. Folks like Elon Musk and Sam Altman himself, the gentleman behind OpenAI, ChatGPT, right? And so they've been raising a lot of banging the drums of, hey, we got to watch out for this. Well, Joe Biden, he's really mustered up a bunch of good thoughts here to be able to come out, and he feels confident about this executive order, so much so that he signed it. So here it is, Tim. Here's some of the details. This executive order is creating new safety security standards for AI. It's protecting consumer privacy. It's advancing equity and civil rights, something, Tim, I know you're really excited about. Protecting customers overall, consumers overall, customers and consumers,
Yeah.
supporting workers, promoting innovation and competition, working with international partners, developing guidance for federal agencies' use and procurement of AI, and speeding up the government's hiring and workers skilled in the field. So it looks like quite a bit, but the one that was really, really interesting to me is this one here, because I've been sounding the
Yeah.
alarms for a little while, beating the drum of, hey, this is going to send unemployment to the moon. You think Bitcoin's going to the moon, unemployment's going to go to the moon. Supporting workers by producing a report on the potential labor market implications of AI, studying the ways the federal government could support workers affected by a disruption in the labor market. You know what, Tim? I'm thinking. I did an interview. I'm sorry. I did an interview with David Holtz, who's the founder of Midjourney. I think I might rip that from Patreon and put it up on our YouTube, and kind of date it when it was recorded. Because I was asking one of the founders of a major AI company that. But what do you think, Tim? Do you think we're all going to be unemployed here in a few days?
So that was the most interesting part to me as well. And here's the thing about it: it would at first create way more unemployment. It would make unemployment rise. The thing about it, though, T-Shroom, is that as we incorporate AI into our everyday life for normal working jobs, the demographic it could really, really help with is replacing a lot of jobs that nobody wants to do. There's already, I hadn't even checked on how this is going, but there are Taco Bells, for example. Who wants to go work at Taco Bell? Most people don't want to, actually, a lot of people want to eat there, but most people who care about their health and their bowels being normal
Right.
don't like eating at Taco Bell, but they have complete dark restaurants. What that means is they don't have to pay for electricity or anything, because everything inside, making your tacos, putting in the bags, charging you, doing everything, it's all AI. I need to check on how those are doing.
Right
those are
now?
months old now. Yeah, there's I think at least one of them, if not two or three, where they're testing it, right? But who wants to work at Taco Bell, right? So would that cause unemployment? I mean, there's thousands of Taco Bells all over the country. I know there's more in other countries.
The answer is
that
yes.
would be millions of jobs lost, but millions of very frustrated jobs that people don't like anyway, right? And now you start to get into the place where AI, yeah, it's going to cost a lot to get it up and going, but long term is very cost effective. So that brings prices of Taco Bell down. That brings goods and services down. We're talking about burger flippers. We're talking about warehouse workers. We're talking about physical labor jobs where people, you can do it in your 20s and maybe early in your 30s, but as you start to get older, your back starts to break down, your knees start to break down, but people have to do it to keep paying money. Those jobs will be replaced, which will make things cheaper, which makes the economy better, which what happens when the economy does very well, T-Shroom, and what is something that everyone wants to do now? And I say this very ironically because you and I are doing it as we speak. Most people, at least in the United States, have that lifestyle dream of becoming an influencer and just making educational or entertaining content for people to watch and love and yada yada. When economy is booming, entertainment industries shoot through the roof. People want to go see movies. People want to get on YouTube. People want to get on TikTok. People just want to sit back and be entertained because the economy is doing well. So while you'll see labor jobs and annoying, stupid jobs get taken away, you will see an increase in engineers. You'll see an increase in computer programmers. You'll see an increase in high-level degrees and job requirements for the maintenance and creation of said AI. And then for people who don't want to go to school, the entertainment industry will be so booming, the employment that happens there, because here's the thing. Are some people entertained by AI? Yeah, but that's just human nature. We are very much, it is way more fun to watch humans interact and play a sport or make a joke or fight in a ring than it is to watch robots fight. Like, there's something about our nature. We like seeing humans do things to be entertained. More jobs in the entertainment industry, which I think will be more fun for those people to do in the first place, will come about. And I actually see this as a net benefit in the long run for society. Now, when I say that society job-wise, the negative side of this, it will continue to keep people from actually interacting with each other, from spending eye to eye. More people will do things online. You're not going to interact with a person when you go to the grocery store. You're going to be interacting with AI, which means that people are being more comfortable, but it makes us kind of deteriorate as human beings. So that part of it I'm scared of. But when I'm just talking about the economy and I'm talking about jobs and I'm talking about people being satisfied in the work that they're doing, I see this as a net increase to society. What do you think about that?
No, I completely agree, Tim. So here's the way I see it. I don't see it as a binary either or. Either it's going to go utopic or dystopic. I think we are going to go dystopic for a while, and then if we can get through it as a society, we come together. I think it'll be utopic, and that's kind of what I said this morning. Is
A lot of topics.
there's going to be a period where there's kind of no way around it. Like there could even get as bad as civil unrest, people in the streets, because the government is not able to do anything about mass unemployment. This AI is messing up the unemployment figures, right? Because so the only way that the government could really intervene is what they've actually done in trucking, where I believe they've put some laws in place where a semi truck cannot be driven by an AI. That already is possible. Tesla has already proven that, and I believe they've even shipped in some countries that capability, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the U.S. has banned that. Now it's not permanently banned it, but the thing is like if they need to do that if they want to try to pause AI and try to keep it from replacing jobs, but they haven't done that. I don't know that there is an appetite for doing that because corporations are so significant in Washington, and one of the biggest ones, Microsoft, is out there, Google is out there, Amazon. All of these companies really want to replace workers with AI. Why? It may not be intuitive for some people. Why? Because there's a thing called a minimum wage. You have to pay me a minimum wage. You do not have to pay an AI or a robot, a big arm that can move one thing onto an assembly line, right? You don't have to pay that thing anything. You have the upfront cost, buying it from Korea, buying it from Germany, wherever it comes from, right? $300,000. Boom. As soon as that's paid off, though, now it's just free money. I don't have to pay. I don't have to pay for anything other than what you mentioned, Tim, maintenance and upgrades, right? But it's not anywhere near the labor costs that I have to pay. So it's coming. Corporations are going to be incentivized to adopt AI and robotics. And I think that ultimately there's going to be a period for humanity that's going to be remembered similar to, the darkness of the Industrial Revolution, the darkness of the Middle Ages, where there's, it could get bad. I think it will get bad, right? But I think that if we can get through it, there's going to be a very, very bright tomorrow, which is potentially everything being free because it's all made by non-human labor. So therefore, it could theoretically be close to free, most things.
Cheap, very cheap for sure.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. We do got to wrap out today's show. It is 4 p.m., but there was a point made by Indie Rock Crypto T-Shroom that trounces both of our takes. And he said it with very few words. It's about what people want in this world. People just want to buy Investing Bros merch,
right?
Is what he said. And here's the thing. There is no Investing Bros merch. So that's the sadness of the whole thing. That's the top demand. Is there Investing Bros merch?
Oh, absolutely. It's digital merch. You've got the badges in the chat. You see them.
The members. Yeah, but we're talking t-shirts, hats, mugs. I don't know what else we're gonna do. Here's the thing. We're gonna have in our members only stream tomorrow. Here's what I'll promise you guys. We're gonna talk crypto. We're gonna cover charts, cover what you guys want to cover. We'll talk merch though, because T-Shroom and I have had discussions in the past. We have not been moving in that range because there's so many things we want to develop and do, and you got to take things one at a time. But if you guys want merch, there are ways that we can get that truck rolling, but we want your input. So make sure you are a member to the channel. Guys, check us out. Make sure you guys check we have a free Discord. There's paid levels as well on conversations. You get into bro times and whatnot. But make sure you're in our Discord, contributing over there. There's a great group of people always talking crypto, always talking life, having a lot of fun. It's in the link down below. Go check it out right now. With that said, though, T-Shroom, that's all we have for everybody here. Make sure you guys have subscribed and liked the video. You guys have a fantastic day. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Adios.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor, the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shroom's news got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.